Hi Pisces, how are you? Welcome to your December reading. Sorry they're a little bit late. I just started working. Again, I've transitioned to my wintertime job. So yeah, seasonal where I live, it's seasonal work. I live in the mountains. The Tower, first card out. Also, I'm using a new deck. It's called the Ghetto Tarot, and it's by this woman, this photographer named Alice Smeets. I believe that's Smeets. And she's from Northern Europe, and she traveled to Haiti and collaborated with this group of Haitian artists and created this photographic reinterpretation of the Rider-Waite deck. So I've been using it personally, and I really like it, and so I want to try my hand at it for the videos. So first card out is the Tower. So, and people usually get really afraid when they see this card come out, but it's necessary. Like, this is a necessary change. This is a necessary transformation, because when Pluto, this card represents Pluto, right? So when Pluto comes in and does this to us, it's permanent. It's a permanent change that we'll never have to, we'll have to endure other changes, right? But when Pluto steps in and asks for us to change or to transform something, it's pretty permanent and it's pretty long-lasting, and it brings long-term results, right? Saturn will kind of have you more so work through a process, whereas Pluto is like, get rid of it now. Get rid of it now. I care nothing for this. It's built on a faulty foundation. Some of you might realize that you're in relationships that aren't built on foundations, and I'm personally learning and beginning to really appreciate the value in having a foundation of friendship, or a foundation of really knowing who you're fucking with in your intimate and romantic relationships, right? Because we get into these relationships because we have feelings, and then we realize that we actually don't know the person who, like, we're fucking with, and there isn't any kind of friendship to back that up. So I feel like a lot of you are recognizing, like, I actually don't know this person very well or as well as I thought, and it's really shifting and changing things for you. Some of you, this could also represent, I just heard rocking, like, you rock my world. This card for me, when it comes to relationships especially, could also mean that, you know, you've met somebody and the connection feels so magnetic and vibrational that it's like you're rocking each other's world. But let's find out what the stories are behind this Tower card. So let's get into the reading. So messages for Pisces, December 2017. Messages for Pisces, December 2017. Is it involving an Aquarius? Aquarius also got the Hanged Man and the Hermit. So far, your first row is all major arcanas. Yay! Awesome. Great. It is great. I think it's really great. These are really powerful energies that are coming in, and I feel that a lot of you are in definitely a transformational period. I think this is awesome. Saturn's going to be moving into your 11th house come December. That Aquarius house. So your hopes and dreams, right? 11th house is the Aquarius house, so it represents our social circles, social benefactors, our hopes and dreams, our friendships, our platonic relationships, right? Which are very, very important, just as important as that 7th house sector of intimate marriage, intimate one-on-one bonds. So we have Saturn moving into that house. Saturn is, and then we also have Pluto currently in that house, right? Pluto has been in your 11th house, that Capricorn house for you guys. So Pluto's been there. I feel like some of you definitely are dealing with an Aquarius, and like there's a relationship happening with an Aquarius, right? The Star is the Aquarius card. And I feel like for some reason that situation got put on pause, or you feel like it's not going anywhere, or you feel like you're in suspension. And that makes a lot of sense, because for the Aquarius reading, they're dealing with a situation where they have to be they have to be patient, or it's like there's this kind of stagnation with it, but it's necessary. Like this Hanged Man, I feel like it more so represents this energy of like things that are stagnant, things that need to come to a pause, and it's really out of your hands, right? Like it's not, like you just feel like the universe has put a block or put a pause on a lot of things regarding this person. And that initially things might have been moving really fast. And that because things were moving so fast, it's like, where was the foundation? Like, did you guys pour the concrete properly? Like, did you measure out the parameters of like where you want your house to be? Is it sufficient enough, right? Like I live in the mountains, and I see a lot of construction with homes being built, and, you know, because the mountain town that I live in is beginning to become more populated. And, you know, I hear a lot of people make a lot of comments on like, this house isn't built for an alpine environment, or there's not a good enough foundation. Like this house cannot survive in these harsh winters. We have very harsh winters here. And so you'll see a lot of homes get built and then not being able to, you know, in some homes you witness not being able to be filled or be utilized because the foundations weren't built properly, not for the environment, right? Not for the harsh winters that we endure here in northern New Mexico. So it's like, are you taking into consideration not only the foundation of the relationship, but like the factors surrounding the relationship? Like, are you trying to have this relationship in a harsh environment? Like, what's the circumstances of the situation? Because it's not just about, oh, I like you, you like me too, let's do this. It's like, well, I travel every other month, or like I have 3 kids, or I'm dealing with health issues, or like I'm depressed, or like what are the circumstances that are surrounding this relationship with this Aquarius, this person here? I feel like it is an Aquarius. And I feel like there's definitely a reconsideration, and I feel like the universe just kind of put things on pause because we need to see things differently, right? Then when the Hangman comes out, it always speaks of a situation where things are sort of put on hold, but for the purpose and for the reason of creating a different perspective, or for creating a more open mind or a more enlightened mind, right? Now we have this Hermit card here. So I do see, you know, this is also the Virgo card. Maybe some of you are also dealing with a Virgo, right? But whoever this person is enjoying solitude. This person is seeing the benefits of being in solitude. That with being in solitude and not having all these different energies, around me, I actually have the ability to look at my own inner light and to gain wisdom and understanding of what has kind of come up with this Tower card. This Tower card can get heavy. So let's keep pulling cards and see what else comes up. I feel like that's really a heavy reading thus far, with just all the different energies that are going on. I feel like a lot of you are really going through a transformation. And I feel like for some of you who aren't involved romantically, that, you know, maybe you entered into a situation where you were able to possibly follow or try to express your hopes and dreams, your inner desires, or things that you want to see come to fruition in this world. And it's like you have to kind of like the universe keeps putting roadblocks up because you haven't built a good foundation, right? Like, let's see what else is going on with Pisces for December 2017. December 2017. Pisces. Sorry for all the shuffling. High Priestess. Page of Pentacles, yeah. So, sorry for all the shuffling. I'm used to cards. My other deck, the cards pop out. And with this deck, they're not so interested in that. They want to be pulled they want to be physically taken out of the deck. Sometimes they'll pop out, but for the most part, this is a deck that likes to be pulled. This is the four of cups on the bottom. And as you can see, like all the interpretations, right? Like are these beautiful pictures of people with like beautiful brown skin. And it's just awesome to see a deck that's incorporating that kind of imagery and is incorporating something different than what I've traditionally seen on tarot decks. And so I really love this deck. And I think it speaks to my bloodline. I love it. I love it. It's all shot in Haiti with Haitian artists. So four cups on the bottom. So yeah, I feel like a lot of you might be feeling disappointed about a situation from the past. Feeling disappointed, feeling discontent, but also really reevaluating what the universe has to offer you. Like I feel like the universe is trying to hand you this cup and you're actually kind of being like, hold up. Let me think about this for a minute. And again, Aquarius got this for the outcome card. So I wonder if some of y'all are dealing with an Aquarius or with this Page of Pentacles here, potentially a Virgo, Taurus, or a Capricorn, an earth sign. We have the High Priestess here underneath the Tower. So, and also as it is next to the Page of Pentacles, I do feel that whatever this connection is, whatever this sort of offer is that was here with the Star card, that was like, you know, you had a hope and a dream, or there was some kind of desire to actually have, you know, a substantial offer, right? A substantial love offer, a substantial career offer, a substantial financial offer. I just heard school. Maybe some of you were looking to be accepted back into school, right? This is a card of acceptance. But it's not like, it's of acceptance, being home, right? Like being part of the family. But it's like it's a little bit harder than you think it is. It's becoming a challenge. That's a mini kind of insert story there that some of you, I think, are definitely applying or looking to apply pretty soon for school, to kind of create this foundation, but you're realizing that it's going to be a lot more work than you thought it was going to be. It's going to be a lot more challenging than you initially thought. But with this but going back to, you know, if this is a relationship, and of course I get a phone call from an Aquarius. People have been blowing me up today. I love it. Excuse me. Sorry. I was like looking at I was like, who is that? Yes, one of my Aquarius homies. So with this High Priestess being here with this Tower, you know, I feel like things for you psychically and psychologically and mentally are being broken down, because the High Priestess deals with our higher knowing, like that part of our psyche that just knows, psychic ability, our highest self. So it's like the universe, I feel, is trying to get you to really be in touch with your highest self, right? That inner feminine knowing part of yourself that doesn't have to do so much to get what they want. Like, this card is a bit passive. She's passive because she knows this is all bullshit anyway. I don't know how else to say that. Like, she's passive because she knows that there is something greater out there, greater than what she wants, greater than any action she can take, greater than any piece of esoteric, or not, I think that's the wrong word, but, and, you know, greater than any piece of knowledge, right? Like any piece of tangible worldly knowledge, right? That there's a higher knowing beyond this physical plane. And she wants nothing to really do with this physical plane. She knows that she doesn't have to act because there's a higher part of herself that can get whatever it is that she needs and wants from a higher source. So it's almost as if the universe is really trying to get you to sort of appear in that form of yourself. Is really getting to get you to try and value right? That highest part, that inner knowing of who you are. And so this energy might definitely feel really harsh, especially psychically for some of you. Like you're really feeling this on an intuitive level, on an intuitive basis, and it's incredibly uncomfortable, but it's also forcing you to like look at your value and look at, you know, what is it that this person has to offer? What is it that you have to offer? Like, what of substantial, tangible value have you built or created with this person? Or what substantial, tangible value have you built and created with whatever this hope and dream is, with whatever this desire is for the future? Like, you got to start somewhere. And sometimes that can be the issue with a lot of Pisces energy, having been being ruled by Neptune, right? Master of illusions. Master of dreams and fantasies, master of the fairy tale. That sometimes we get caught up in the fairy tale of things. Sometimes we get caught up in the illusion of what things can look like, but then we have to gain a grip of the reality that it also requires that we build a foundation. It requires that we actually do some work and we look at our value, the value of other people involved, the value of our project, right? Whatever business we're trying to build. And that in that a foundation, it becomes solid. Because this is also, for me, a foundation card. Like, these two people are here together, and they love each other, yes, but they have a house, they have land. They've thought about the ins and outs of their coming together. They didn't just come to, like, they're like, okay, we have a house, we have land. Maybe we'll get some farm animals. Maybe we'll have some kids. But before we have kids, we may need to actually try and make, create a business. Maybe we can, sell milk or, I don't know, whatever, sell goats or whatever it is, right, that these people are going to do on their land. There's planning that was involved in building this situation here. It didn't just get there. I do want to clarify some of these major arcana because there's such big energies, and I want to get a more detailed sense of what's going on for some of you. So I want to clarify the Tower. Can I get clarification for the Tower for Pisces, December 2017? Okay. 8 of Wands. Or 8 of Brooms. Look at these awesome cards. I love them. They're so good. So yeah, I feel that whatever this situation was between these two people that are falling out of this tower, it happened really quickly, right? And things were said very impulsively and very quickly. Maybe there were some I love yous that were said very quickly, or maybe there was sort of, a, what's the word? A declaration of someone's feelings that were made too quickly. And it's just like, sometimes we have to feel the intensity of our feelings and let them pass, right? But I feel that this is the result of things happening too quickly. These brooms don't even have a direction. And if you can see in this deck, you've got 4 brooms going this way and 4 going another. So there's not a lot of direction happening here. So it's like you want one thing and this other person wants another thing. So there's people moving in 2 opposite directions. Right? And they're going to fall from the same tower in 2 opposite directions. Let's clarify the Star card. Can I get clarification for the Star? Oh, give me 1 second. I have to check something. Okay, and we're back. Sorry, I was cooking and my timer went off, so I had to turn everything off. But let's clarify the Star. Can we get clarification for the Star for Pisces, December 2017? Clarification for the Star. Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like on the one hand, right, for those of you who are not dealing with a relationship but are more so dealing with a business opportunity or following your hopes and dreams, or just something that you want to see manifest in your future, that Wheel of Fortune is, there to kind of turn things around for you in your favor. But again, right, like this is about this is about divine timing. This is about things happening when the universe feels that you are in alignment enough for them to happen. And the same goes for a relationship, right? And also that with this person, with this Aquarius, that things sort of go up and down and up and down and up and down. And Aquarius also got the Two of Pentacles, which to me is a very like learn to go with the ebb and flow of life. That the Wheel of Fortune goes up and then it goes down and then it goes back up. That the universal justice always does its best to balance out. Always balances out, regardless. So, whatever the situation involves, yeah, you know, the universe has its hand in it, for sure, as always. And that things go up and things go down. And that part of the process is sort of being in acceptance with that. And instead of looking so much at the outside conditions of your relationships, right? Like instead of looking at the outer appearances of what things appear to be, having a deeper knowing and a deeper understanding, right? Like this high priestess is not swayed by outside conditions. This high priestess does not really care too much about what outer conditions look like in the tangible physical world. You know, she's more tuned in and tapped into like the nuances and the energies that we can't see energetically. And that it's finding your value outside of the appearance of these conditions that go up and down, right? That go up and down, that can appear to be one thing one minute and another thing the next minute, right? So it's just like learning how to really find your value outside of the appearance of tangible results in your life, whether it be through relationships or business, things of that nature. Let's clarify the Hanged Man. Can we get clarification for the Hanged Man? Clarification for the Hanged Man for Pisces. Temperance, again, I feel like it's sort of like a reiteration, right, of the Hanged Man. That this Temperance card really indicates the need for patience, that this Temperance card really indicates the need for balance, for higher understanding, right? Again, we have this call for you to have a higher understanding, to have an and you're a Pisces, so that's not really too difficult for you. That's sort of what your archetype is all about. The fish swim in water, which, you know, water is the other world, the psychic realm, emotion, the things of an ethereal nature that we can't really understand in this world, in this physical world. So I think this is more about getting back in touch with what you know to be true, Pisces, and getting back in touch with that inner sense of like who you are. This Page of Pentacles to me always sort of gets to the bottom of like, how do you hold your value? Yes, it can be an offer, right? A love offer, a very slow yet tangible love offer. Again, Aquarius has had very similar messages of like love offers that are coming in that are being very slow and needing of patience, needing of this sort of proper synergizing, right? As in the Temperance card. But nonetheless being tangible and very substantial offers nonetheless, but that need time. But this also speaks to me about your inner value. This also speaks to me of holding yourself, right, in high regards. So I do feel that this Temperance card, I kind of lost my train of thought there for a second, but the Temperance card I feel is definitely a reiteration of, you know, what the Hanged Man is asking you to do, which is to kind of maintain and have some patience, right? Getting back in touch, that's what I was getting at. Getting back in touch with who you, like the core, what's the core of your archetype, Pisces? It's, you know, unending belief. It's connectedness to the other world, right? Straddling this world, the physical world, and the spirit world, or the metaphysical world, whatever you want to call it, right? That you are the masters of that. That you have one foot here and one foot somewhere else. Always. And I feel like with Neptune having been in retrograde. I'm not sure when it's moving forward, if it already has moved forward. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel that with Neptune having been in retrograde, that, and that being your planet, that there can be a kind of disconnect or a sort of, you know, a disconnect from those aspects that Neptune definitely brings to you, right? Like the illusion, the belief, the fantasy, the magic, right? That like there's been this kind of disconnect between you and your own personal magic. And so there's a call for you to kind of get reconnected with that higher part of yourself, even with this Hermit card, right? This Hermit is a number 9. It says 11 in the camera because it's backwards, but flipped it's a 9. And I keep getting calls. But the Hermit is, you know, the 9 represents that house of Sagittarius. It's higher learning, higher understanding, philosophy, knowledge that is not just about facts, but it's about higher, you know, higher mindedness, right? Things, abstract ideas, things that are difficult to fully understand or grasp when all you're looking at is tangible facts. So I feel that a lot of you are getting back in touch, right? We have this Hermit and this Page of Pentacles both looking at sort of their inner light, their inner wisdom. That you might have been too caught up in the tangible results of something, and the Tower, right? The Tower showing up. The Tower showing up and letting you know that, like, that's not good enough for me. That's not what you're here for. Let's clarify this Hermit. Can I get clarification for the Hermit? Clarification for the Hermit. Ace of Brooms. So yeah, new spiritual beginnings, right? Because brooms, well, they're called brooms in this deck. I don't know if you can see that. So they're called brooms in this deck. So it's about new spiritual beginnings. This fire, this inner light, right, that starts out sort of small here, is ignited. Very much so. So I do feel that a lot of you are going to feel, this is more for you, definitely can relate to relationships and outer, but I think this is also for a lot of you a return back to this connectedness to your higher self, this connectedness to your Pisces power, this connectedness to that beautiful, ethereal sort of nature that you all have, that seeks to dig deeper beyond just what we can see in this world. And I feel like some of you might have gotten caught up in that a little bit. And then especially with regards to a relationship, needing to see results, needing to see things sort of happen right now. That with this person, there can be a pretty stable union, right? With this situation, this dream, this hope that you have, there can be a pretty stable outcome to it. But again, it takes the building of a foundation, which I don't feel your energy, Pisces energy, water energy in general, maybe if you're a Cancer, right? About, you know, because Cancers are, it's building a home and the home sphere, right? But like water energy in general is not very, like that's why water and earth are so compatible, right? Are compatible elements, because water brings the dreaminess, water brings the hopes and the wishes and the nurturing and the love and the softness and the sensitivity and the psychic power and the intuition, and earth brings the tangible spaces, the tangible shells, the tangible homes through which all of these things can exist in safety, where all of these different elements of water can exist in comfort and in, you know, in safety, as I said before. So if this is an earth sign, right, that's also here, it could be an Aquarius, could be an earth sign, that there could be, right, an opportunity for you to really create a sort of foundation for yourself. But it's not easy. You'll be victorious nonetheless, but it's still not easy. It's not easy, right? We have all these wands here. And it's like the realization that, like, these wands take a lot more effort to sort of organize and catapult and put in different directions and set up for yourself. That at the end of it all, with this hermit phase of really going within deep and finding, you know, these new spiritual beginnings, it still feels very sort of unstable and conflicting, right? Like we're still getting the hang of these ups and downs and the universe sort of synergizing and flow, allowing these different things to flow all together. Let's pull an outcome card for Aquarius, or for, sorry, Pisces. Outcome for Pisces for December 2017. Outcome for Pisces for December 2017. The Magician. So you take that wand, right? You have all of these brooms here, the Magician. You take those wands and you make them work. You get back in touch with your magic. You get back in touch with your ability, Pisces, as the culmination of all the signs. You have all the elements. You have all the elements under your control, right? You are the highest evolved zodiac sign. You know, and last month we were talking about, I believe either last month or the month before that, we were talking about a situation in a relationship where there was an offer and you sort of were on the edge about it because of past hurts, right? And I feel like you can't really, like, this is now a time to move forward. And that, you know, it's not that there's an expiration date for how long we have to heal or to get over something, but now we're getting to a point where the universe is actually sort of challenging you or pushing you a little bit more to really, you know, heal those parts of your heart, heal those parts of your relationships that, you know, didn't go so well, because there are opportunities that the universe wants to bring in for you, right? Like that it's time to heal. It's time to move on. It's time to be to have a new awakening, right? As this Magician. So Pisces, that's your reading for December 2017. And if it did not resonate with you, you can go to, there's other readings on YouTube that you can check out for Pisces. But I love you guys, and I hope that you have a good December. Happy holidays, and I will see you all in January. All right.